Greetings, everybody. I'm Cheryl Brayboy. Welcome to Golden Bulls TV Newsmakers, our brand new show on Golden Bulls TV. And I am here today with the president of Johnson C. Smith University, Dr. Valerie Kinloch, in the house. Good to see you.
Yes, I'm here, JCSU. Yes, indeed. Thank you for having me.
It's so wonderful to be sitting here with you in our very first interview. You are a proud alumna of JCSU, class of 1996.
Yes.
What does it feel like to be back in this position as president, especially as we approach your 2-year anniversary at the helm of this glorious institution?
So it feels as if it's a homecoming. And, you know, I will be very honest, it is a homecoming that has welcomed me back in ways that I could never really imagine. There is nothing like being an alumni of Johnson C. Smith University. And I graduated in 1996, and to now be back as the 15th president of this institution, it's an honor. I mean, I take it as an honor every single day. And so I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be the first guest. And thank you for having me.
Okay, well, this is wonderful. We have loved having you as our president for the past 2 years. You've done an incredible job. Many of our academic programs are thriving. We will talk soon about esports, about
Yes.
sport management, about
Yes.
the sustainability village, about so many wonderful things in the College of Business, College of Liberal Arts, and of course STEM.
Yes.
As we enter this weekend, your 2-year anniversary as president, what comes to mind for you? This is a tough job. You're doing a great job, but it's a tough job.
It is a tough job. So what comes to mind for me? A lot of things. A lot of things keep me up at night and in the morning. A lot of things pull at me. There are a lot of challenges that we have to face, and we have to face them head on, and we cannot pretend as if these challenges do not exist. So there are challenges that met me here when I started. There are challenges that have revealed themselves since I've been here that I was not expecting. And there are opportunities. And so while we oftentimes will belabor the challenges and the weaknesses of an institution or a place, my attitude is to just rip the Band-Aid off and to be able to say, how do we assess where we are? What is it that we need to get done immediately, and then midterm, and then long term? And then how do we get this done? And so approaching my 2nd year anniversary as being the president, it's amazing. It's amazing, but it is also with sleepless nights. And I'll be very honest, it's not an easy job.
No.
But at the same time, I think that you have leaders in higher education oftentimes talking about the fact that it's not an easy job, that it's a hard job. And I want to actually change that narrative just a bit.
Okay.
It is a hard job to do anything that you love. It is a hard job to be successful at the things that you commit to being successful at and with and for. It is an easy job for me to come to campus and to see students who remind me of myself, who embrace me and I embrace them. It is an easy job to be able to say, how can I figure out this complex problem in order to ensure that students who want to be here and the students who haven't imagined being here have access to being here, can be here, can stay, can thrive, and can graduate. And that part for me defines every single thing that I do. I wake up in the morning, I know it's a hard job, but I wake up thinking about my students.
Yeah.
I think about when I was here in the 90s and the people who fed into me and poured into me. And so the easy job becomes easy, becomes hard, becomes complicated, but at the end of every single day, what have we done to improve the conditions and the lives for people here at Johnson C. Smith? And that's my commitment.
And you're about that business of improving the lives of all of us, faculty, staff, students, alumni, and the community surrounding this beautiful institution. I want to make people aware of the relationship you have with the students here at JCSU, because when Dr. Kinloch walks onto the block, she is approached, inundated, just welcomed by so many students who really love you and who appreciate what you bring to this campus, which is a spirit of optimism.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really wonderful.
Thank you.
You mentioned, though, that you do have those sleepless nights.
Yes.
A lot of people have been talking about JCSU recently. Some folks have gotten the story right, but many have not. Right? So I wanted to dig into the issue of accreditation.
Absolutely.
And SAC-COC.
Yes.
We recently learned that we are on probation for good cause, and people are running with that story.
Absolutely,
but
they are.
You're here to set the record straight.
All right, so let me just say this. So anything that happens at Johnson C. Smith University that is not vetted, that is not asked, but is written about, I don't trust. So I'm going to start there.
Yeah.
So any story or stories that initially came out that may have cited a passage that we submitted to SAC-COC, but did not take the time to call, to email, or to ask for our feedback, is malicious. And I'm going to be very honest and clear about that. Now, the reality is this. I'm as transparent as you can get. And as transparent in terms of my leadership, transparent in terms of the things that I want to accomplish here at Johnson C. Smith, and also transparent in terms of the challenges that we have.
Yes.
We have challenges. I knew we had challenges when I came here. And partially the reason why I came here is because I wanted to address those challenges head on when I was invited to take this job. The other part of that is the things that you can never know until you take a job and until you are there assessing the conditions, the policies, the practices, the procedures, and realizing, wait, we have a problem. And so we can either pretend as if we don't, which I can't do, or we can say we have a problem and how are we going to resolve the issues? When it comes to accreditation, the point is not about our accreditation. Our accreditation is not under fire. We are fully accredited by SAC-COC. The reality is that we have been placed on probation with good cause. And I want people to understand good cause means that there's progress that has been made. There's progress that really needs to be made. There's work that we must get done. We are not closing. So Cheryl, we have been here, Johnson C. Smith University, since 1867. We were founded by people who believed in the mission of higher education to provide access and opportunity for people who look like me and who look like you, and having a right to be in an institution where we can learn and we can thrive. And that's the purpose of Johnson C. Smith. We were founded at a moment in this country where Black people were not afforded educational opportunities at other types of institutions. So I want to set that there in the center of this, center. Founded in 1867, connected to the Presbyterian Church, connected to all of these folks who wanted to actually provide us with opportunity. We put that in the center. Everything that we have done is built on top of that foundation, and our foundation is not going anywhere. It's going to be stronger. Now, let me actually talk about SAC-COC and the decision to put Johnson C. Smith on probation. We are on probation for good cause. We have to strengthen our internal systems. This did not happen overnight. The reality is people have worked hard at this institution, but now we need to work harder and smarter. We need to improve our internal systems, our internal controls. We need to ensure that when people think about giving to Johnson C. Smith University, they know where their dollars are going, but it's not just to have restricted giving. We need unrestricted giving. Unrestricted giving allows us to actually accomplish our highest priorities and goals. And so we are at a point, an inflection point. And at this point we are not like any other institution. We are only and forever only going to be Johnson Crane Smith University. We are in the city of Charlotte, the only HBCU here. We have top performing faculty and staff. Our students are excellent. And so this is a bump in the road. And I believe that when a crisis comes, we have to take that crisis and we have to make the best of it. And that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, all hands on deck.
All hands on deck.
Another thing that people don't fully understand is that we have been about the business of making improvements over the course of the last 18 months.
Yes.
So this is not a new thing.
Absolutely.
We're already really moving in the right direction.
We are moving in the right direction. Thank you for saying that. And so improvements in terms of every single thing that you can imagine at this point. And so we brought in some folks to help us really understand where we are with our financial landscape. It's not about the fact that we don't have money.
Right.
It is about the fact that we need systems that operate appropriately. We need people to be trained. We need people to have professional development who understand what needs to happen. Let me give you an example of something that we have radically improved upon.
Okay.
So GSPAR, government-sponsored programs and research. We had a transition out of the vice president in that role. And so I brought someone on board as vice president, former Dean Patrick Martin. And I charged him with understanding how to work with faculty and staff, getting these grants. We have to improve our systems of coding and categorizing who's on grants, what their percentage is. It's called time, effort, and higher education. We improved that radically, dramatically, in a short period of time. And that was one of the things that we needed to improve upon. And we did that. The point is, when we know, we do. When we don't know, we still do. And we must do better. And so government-sponsored programs is better positioned, and we are in alignment. And it takes us knowing what we need to accomplish, having the insight and the visionary leadership that I believe the team I have built can now bring in order for us to accomplish these things that might seem to be challenges and weaknesses, and then we take those and turn it on its head. And so government-sponsored programs is probably at its strongest, more so than when I started. Our internal controls, our compliance issues, financial aid, all of these things are things that are pain points for many institutions, and we have been working to improve all of those things.
A question that's come up, I've heard people articulate this idea that, well, you know, JCSU received those MREI funds, right?
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about Mayor's Racial Equity Initiative, the $80 million, right, that we received. People are like, well, what did you do with the $80 million?
Absolutely.
What would you say to those folks?
All right, so I would say Johnson C. Smith University received $80 million from Mayor's Racial Equity Initiative before I started. And I want to be clear about that. So it was before I started, and it came with a plan. And that was before I started as president, probably a year and two before I became president. And it helped to the institution. Let's remember the larger context here, a pandemic, COVID-19, changing the landscape of everything that we do in this world, particularly higher education, but not exclusively higher education. So we go through a pandemic. The university is really not residential during a certain period of time. And so enrollment continues to dwindle, which is understandable because people don't know what they're doing in a pandemic. We get out of this pandemic. We have, I don't know if we got out of it, but the pandemic happened.
Right.
And the lingering effects of a pandemic still we can see and feel.
Sure.
And now we have Mayor's Racial Equity Initiative, which said public-private partnerships. You know, after the murder of George Floyd Jr., after all of these attacks on Black lives in this country, then we get a group of people in the city of Charlotte saying, we must raise monies to think deeply about equity. We must raise monies to think deeply about human lives and human conditions. And that's what they did, led by our great mayor, Vi Lyles. And so Johnson C. Smith was the beneficiary of Mayor's Racial Equity Initiative. But let me set the record straight.
Right.
We don't have $80 million in cash, okay? And it's not a one-time, let me give you $80 million, university, now do what you shall with it. Some of that is in kind. Some of that will never turn into cash, but it's in-kind services, it's experiences, it's people, it's capacity building. And then the other part of that is cash. But we have not gotten a lump sum of $80 million in cash. It is funneled through the Foundation for the Carolinas, and we apply for it, and then we use it for our highest needs, and that's what we do. Without MREI and the leadership of Mayor Lyles, I'm not sure where the university would have been during that particular period of time.
And there are strong controls on those MREI dollars, right? As you mentioned, entities on campus have to apply for those funds. You have to put together a very strong application. We did for this studio, right? And it's not just money that is being used willy-nilly.
It's restricted funds.
It is restricted.
Yes, and part of the restricted funds is when I was on the Board of Trustees, the university and the Board of Trustees came up with this plan, a strategic plan for how do we increase our enrollment. And I was on the board at this time. And they came out with this thing called 400 Now. 400 Now means that how do we get 400 first-time, first-year freshmen into the university each year? So they started 400 Now. Football, priority area. Track and field, priority area. Band, a priority area. Choir, a priority area. So across these 4 areas, how do we get the top performing students, talented students, students who might need an opportunity to thrive, bringing them here? And then how do we engage in scholarships, giving scholarships to students who might not have an opportunity to attend a higher education institution? So MREI supported that. And in my first year, 1 year being here, we increased enrollment nearly 18%. So we went from fall 23 when I started at 1,102 students to in 1 year, fall 2024, 1,302 students. That's 200 new students in 1 year.
That's an incredible accomplishment.
Yes,
if you know academia, that's a really big deal.
It is a huge deal. And it is in part because of MREI. Like, we are telling the story about the Mayor's Racial Equity Initiative. And it starts with a university is successful, is strong, because we have strong faculty and staff who support students coming in and ensuring that they are not just here, but they are retained. Retention went from 63% to 71% in 1 year. Let me be clear. One of the highest at a small HBCU. But also because we wrap around student success coaches for our students. Like, it's an amazing time to be at Johnson C. Smith University. And when amazing happens, struggles also happen.
Of course.
And you could either fall for the crises, or you can deal with the crises and determine how are we going to pull ourselves out. All hands on deck. Mayor's Racial Equity Initiative has helped us to do that. But the faculty, the staff, let me just be clear. The alumni of this institution
amazing.
are amazing human beings, and not just because I'm one of them.
Right, right.
Walking over here for this interview, I saw two of our distinguished alum. One of our alum, her son is graduating in the class of 2026, and she said to me, I need to make sure you are okay. And what can we do to ensure that we help you? Yeah. That is what we're doing at this institution.
That's
and I'm
what
excited about it.
I'm excited about it too. The alumni are incredible.
They are.
They're highly successful, JCSU alumni, highly successful, and they're dedicated. They're dedicated to the school, they're dedicated to the students, and they want to make sure this place is better than when they left it.
And they're dedicated to, dare I say, alumni, okay? They're also dedicated to truth.
Yes.
And they're dedicated to what is it that we are doing here? And the reality is the transparency piece is important, because I am an alumni. I mean, I'm going to ask the questions, you know, and before I was president, I'm asking the questions.
Correct.
I want to know, what are you doing to steward my monies? How are you supporting the work that we're trying to do? What does it mean to be a golden bow? And if I give this to you, how can I trust that you're going to use it? I mean, those are all questions in addition to many other questions that our alumni have, that I have. And I think for me to be back here to show the world that JCSU alum, we are successful, we are brilliant, and we can lead. And that is why I'm here, because I believe the alum of JCSU are able to elevate this place alongside me, and together it's our collective story. It's never my story. It's our story.
I love it. And it's been really incredible to see you walk through this storm. It has been a little bit of a storm.
We've had many storms. This is not the first storm that I've inherited, but I'm going to address.
Yes. And come out successfully.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Speaking of success, can you name a couple of your greatest successes since you began as president?
Really?
Yeah, well, might as well talk about it.
Enrollment increases, retention increases, hiring top faculty, staff, administrators. I think my biggest success, two of them, would be seeing this campus re-energized.
Yes.
Seeing my students, you know, and I came to school early this morning, and I was walking out of my car, and I saw a lot of students going into Kokomo's. And I was like, I should, but I'm going to be late to my meeting. And so one of my colleagues pulled me in, Becoming Kings, our Becoming Kings program. And they were having a session in Kokomo's, and I went in and greeted them. These are incoming students to the university, and we all embraced and talked and took pictures. You know, I'm going to do the selfies. And when I think about my greatest success or successes, I think about the type of environment, culture, and climate I had when I was a student here. I don't want to recreate that. I want to make it much better than it ever was. And one of the successes is really reimagining this university campus for our students, and by extension, their families, by extension, alumni, and all of us. And, you know, when I can transform the physical space of this campus to be what it should be for us, that's going to be the biggest success.
Okay.
When I can graduate all of our students and ensure that they do not have financial difficulties, that's going to be my biggest success as well. I love our students.
I do too.
I will do anything for my students that I can do. And I encourage all of us to do the same thing. Without our students, we wouldn't be here. Without our students, I would not be sitting here as your president. I was one of the students on this campus, scared sometimes to walk on the block, because I was always the tall, lanky, you know, girl who had this thing in her throat, this Gala Geechee Charleston thing, and not wanting to always be seen. But then I realized at Johnson C. Smith, it's not about not wanting to be seen, because we all see each other.
Right.
So now that I'm back, I'm able to stand in my existence and everything that I am. And so hence when I walk across campus and it takes me 20 or 30 minutes to get to a meeting and I have to stop and talk to every single student.
You do, literally.
It is because that's what I wanted. And then eventually I got that here before I left, and I've got to give it back out. And that's the community feel of Johnson Crane Smith University.
Well, you're spreading the love. What do you want to say to the potential students out there, prospective students who are considering JCSU, on the fence? What would you say to them?
All right, so this is what I'm going to say to our prospective students who might not yet know that Johnson C. Smith needs to be where you come. Also to the students who've decided to come here, I'm going to say this to you as well. It's not just that I love Johnson C. Smith University because it's nice to say Johnson C. Smith University. It's not just that. It is, I fully love this institution because it helped me to become who I am. And it's not just as a president, it is as a human being who cares about other people in the world. I saw myself here as a student when I was here. Then I became a board member, and I saw myself as a board member who was also an alumna. But then I'm president, and it's like, the feeling that I get is really not describable. How do you love a place so much that when a place calls you back, you have to go because it needs you? But this place needs me just as much as I need it. What I will say to everyone thinking about Johnson C. Smith University, think about our rich academic programs. We have a top sport management program. Our College of Business is an amazing college that is nationally ranked, and we are growing. We have a band back, everybody,
yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Because when I first came here, I was like, where's the band?
Right.
We have an active band back with an amazing band director. Our athletics programs are top notch. And not just football, but particularly football. We have people looking at us wondering, what? I mean, we had Warnock as a graduation speaker last year and Underwood this year. The reality is this, all of those things set aside, you should think about Johnson C. Smith if you want the following. If you want an intimate community, if you want people knowing your name and not seeing you as a number, if you want to be a part of transformation from every aspect of this university, you would select Johnson C. Smith because when you are here, we know you. What do we say? We shine bright.
Yeah.
Like, let there be light.
Correct.
And it's all here at Johnson C. Smith, Sit Lux. It's every single where on this campus.
Sold. I'm going back to school, Dr. Kinloch, back to JCSU. All right, well, this has been lovely chatting with you here on Newsmakers. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. And let me just say, I want to thank you because, you're our Director of University Communications and Marketing, and I've charged you with some really important goals and priorities, and you've been accomplishing them. And so the point is, it's not just about the president, it is about the team. And so I want to thank you also for all the work that you are leading here.
Thank you so much, Dr.
You're
Kinloch.
welcome. It's a new era of excellence.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you guys soon.
Thank y'all.
Hello everybody, how you doing today? My name is Brandon Jones and you're here with GBTV. Today you're watching Rapid Fire. It's our quick question session and our first guest is President Valerie Kinloch of Johnson C. Smith University. So welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So we're just going to ask a few questions, little fun things. You answer pretty quickly and then we move on to the next one.
Let's do it.
So the first question is, what inspired you to become an educator and a leader?
These supposed to be quick?
Yeah, you got to give your quick
What is
thoughts.
quick?
Quick thought, quick response.
Okay, so what inspired me to be an educator? I love kids. I love people. I love learning. I love books. I love books. You want to give me a gift, give me books.
Okay.
I love writing, so that's what it is.
And that's actually one of our quick questions, is what book changed your life? If you can name one.
I can't.
What's the most... what book was the most that sticks out when you hear books from your childhood, something that maybe created your love for reading?
You know what? Anything written by Toni Morrison.
Okay.
Anything written by Toni Morrison, Alice Walker, Bell Hooks, June Jordan, which did not change my life because I didn't discover June Jordan's works until after graduate school. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to say I just always read, Mm-hmm. So anything written by a Black woman.
Okay. What was your first experience with an HBCU? Like the first time you heard about one, went to one, just in general, your first memory of a HBCU.
Wow. Johnson C. Smith University, 1991, 1992, when I was actually a senior in high school at Burke High School. And my guidance counselor gave me some pamphlets. Johnson C. Smith was on the top. I heard about South Carolina State because everyone was going there. And I was like, what is this Johnson C. Smith? Johnson C. Smith was the first contact with an HBCU. And look at me now.
It was mine too. So, what motivates you to show up every day at JCSU? Students. What does legacy mean to you as a leader?
What does legacy mean to me? Students are successful. I leave the world better than I found it.
Okay.
I don't know if I believe in legacy as much as I believe in transformation.
Okay.
So as long as my students are thriving, if I've helped in any kind of way, that's it.
Okay. Go a little bit more into your personality. So what's your go-to comfort food for the day?
If I tell you, then everybody gonna send it to me.
Hey, that's a good thing.
Chocolate.
Chocolate, okay.
I love chocolate. Love chocolate.
If you were in education, what would you be doing?
Is there anything else to do?
There's other ways to teach, I guess.
But it'd still be education.
Yeah. Well, you seem to have a knack for media and TV and things like that.
You know what? I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that. I'm going to take that.
Okay.
I would do something that is media, television, Broadway, without the singing.
Okay.
Performance-based.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of singing, what does Dr. Valerie Kinloch listen to? What music do you have revolving on your playlist? Do you listen to anything on the way to work?
I listen to whatever is on the radio because I need to know what the news is telling me. But, this is going to sound ridiculous. I'm a Luther Vandross girl. Luther Vandross, Aretha Franklin, Donny Hathaway. I'm a that kind of person. And then, when I really want to just think about nothing, I can't say that because then it's about something. But those are the people I like.
Okay. How do you relax and recharge after a long day, long week? What's your go-to self-care?
Reading. No. I love reading, so I read. But you give me a deep tissue massage, at least 90 minutes. I'll take 2 hours if you want to present that to me. Deep tissue massage.
Okay. What's one thing that people are always surprised to learn about you?
You won't be surprised anymore.
I mean, this is the platform to kind of surprise them a little bit.
How about I say people are surprised when I say I'm an introvert.
Okay.
Are you surprised?
Kinda.
I'm an intro extra. I can do both.
Okay.
But people are surprised when they realize that I don't mind being by myself, being quiet, being with myself, reading in a corner. I don't need anyone around. But then I love people around, so I'm an intro extra.
So you came up in the Yancey years.
Yes.
What do you want to be the most memorable thing for the students about your presidency when they talk about the Kinloch years?
Wow, the Kinloch years. You put a K in front of New Era of Excellence and you get a NE, right? Kinloch's New Era of Excellence.
Okay.
I want people to remember that it takes a village. It takes all of us. I want people to remember that it's not just about yourself. I want people to remember this. I want them to remember that you can be whoever you want to be as long as you believe in yourself. And I want them to remember that I fully embrace human life. I fully embrace people and students. And hopefully that leaves something for them to continue on for the next.
Great. Who is a mentor or role model that shaped your journey?
Dr. Dorothy Kaiser-Yancey.
Okay. And what do you feel about her shaped you the most?
I mean, this woman was like, you telling me what I can't do? I'm going to run you over, get out the way. And being able to see her as a student here, when I was a student here, she was my president, and now still being in touch with her right now, and realizing that she is amazing. And I say that not lightly. Whatever it takes to get the job done is what we're going to do. So a real live person, Dr. Dorothy Kaiser-Yancey. Someone who I looked towards in books, a June Jordan. Imagining the world that you want to have and being able to go for it regardless of what anybody tells you about yourself. You believe what you believe. You don't believe what everybody else has to say about you.
Love it.
And then Toni Morrison, because she says, do not let these people distract you from what you need to do. Distraction is the enemy because they want to get you off a course so you don't fulfill the goals that you have. I have the goal of transformation for Johnson C. Smith. I'm not going to let anyone distract me from that.
Love it. Love it. Okay, lastly, so, you know, Dr. Kinloch is a married woman. She's kept a woman, taken, spoken for. What is the most romantic thing your husband has ever done for you that you can remember?
Yeah, I ain't telling y'all that.
The most romantic thing.
I ain't telling y'all that. So
Well,
if you want to do something for me, he is a great person. He is actually a great person. He is behind the scenes, smart, focused, caring. And so that's all I got for y'all.
Okay. Well, we'll take it. So I hope you guys enjoyed, learned a little something new today about our 15th president. And thank you for coming. Thank you for coming too, Dr.
Thank you for having
Kinloch. And I'm Brandon Jones once again. You're watching GBTV, and we'll see you later.